Join me as I dive into Genesis chapter 7 and see if I can survive the flood, just like Noah's Ark did. The story of Noah's Ark is one of the most iconic tales in the Bible. And for good reason. It's a story of faith, obedience, and the power of God. In Genesis chapter 7, we find Noah, a righteous man in God's eyes, who is tasked with building an ark to save himself, his family, and two of every kind of animal from a devastating flood that will destroy every living thing on earth. This biblical narrative is significant because it shows us God's judgment on sin, but also His mercy and salvation. Building the ark was no easy feat. Noah faced a massive challenge, not just in constructing a massive vessel, but also in convincing others of the impending doom. Can you imagine how people must have reacted when Noah started building a huge boat in the middle of the desert? They probably thought he was crazy. The Bible says that Noah was a righteous man, but that didn't exempt him from ridicule and skepticism. People didn't understand why he was building the ark, and they didn't believe him when he told them about the flood. In fact, they likely thought he was wasting his time on a wild goose chase. Despite their doubts and criticism, Noah persevered, trusting in God's promise to save him and his loved ones. The flood itself was a catastrophic event that would change the face of the earth forever. According to the Bible, the ark was constructed from gopher wood with dimensions that would make it a seaworthy vessel. Noah and his family, along with two of every kind of animal, entered the ark, and then the rains poured down. The floodgates of heaven opened, and the flood began. The waters rose, covering the highest mountains, and every living thing on earth perished. But the ark, with its precious cargo, floated safely above the destruction. As the flood waters continued to rise, the ark began to float, carrying its passengers safely above the chaos. It's incredible to think about the animals too. Every kind, from lions to elephants to birds, all on board, trusting in Noah's obedience to God's command. The storm raged on for 40 days and 40 nights, but the ark held firm, a symbol of God's salvation and protection. And when the floodwaters finally receded, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, a tangible reminder of God's power and mercy. The moment when the floodwaters rise and the ark survives, against all odds, is a pivotal moment in the story. It's a testament to the power of faith and obedience in the face of overwhelming adversity. Noah's trust in God was not misplaced, and the ark became a beacon of hope in a world that had been destroyed. This story teaches us that with faith, we can weather any storm. The story of Noah's Ark represents hope and divine promise, a promise that God made to Noah and to us that He would never again destroy the earth with a flood. He sent a big rainbow to represent His promise. God bless.